is a really good thing. People can afford group activities, not necessarily afford individual high-ticket items. So one great event, which may cost $200 for 5 to 10 people, is a lot less than paying for 5 to 10 people to go out to dinner and drink and not have the fun, exciting event. As a holistic health practitioner, offer your services as a specialist for nutrition to the daycares. Offer to host an evening where you discuss children's nutrition with the parents. You can offer this for free. It is simply your ability to get into the community and touch the people you need to touch in order to get your name out there as an expert. Schools love to do it, obviously. Even schools, elementary schools, they are always looking to show that they are putting kids first. And it works. Recently, my daughter's daycare had a class on stopping kids from watching TV and how to be effective. I went, and there were some really interesting things, but most of all, I actually got to meet the woman that was teaching the class, who really wasn't a stop watching TV expert. She was a child psychologist. She'd done some really interesting things, marketing and advertising for her practice. The connections were made. It's a great way to network with the community you live in. Even if you don't have kids, use somebody else's kids as the in. They won't mind, because you'll be teaching them. I mean, in a normal, nice way. It's a good way, and everybody's got a niece, a cousin, a neighbor, somebody that has a child. Figure out where they go to school and what services they would like to see. A lot of parents just need the help, and schools want to show that they are really doing what they need to do to be part of community centers. Another really good way to connect with your community is local church organizations. They often host events, religious or not religious. It's about networking. You always know that you're going to have people on Sunday morning congregating. If you don't want to go to the church to connect with people, certainly figure out where their breakfast place is, because most people go to breakfast after they've gone to church. Put a flyer up in that coffee shop, in that breakfast place. It's a good way, when you know where people are going to be, put your information there. In our local community, we have a very large community center, and they're often running yoga classes and health classes. And I've put a lot of flyers up and not a lot of response. What did work was when I attended the classes, talked to the people, and handed out business cards, and really got to connect with the people that I was trying to connect with. Once you connect with someone, something that I always do is I keep a box of thank you cards in my car. And when I get in my car, I take 2 minutes and I write a thank you card to the person, or a nice to meet you. I put my business card in it. While it's fresh in my mind, I can make it relative. I'm not going back going, I know this person. What did we talk about? If I do it the minute I get in my car, it's like, hey Janie, it was great chatting to you about the yoga class. Hope we can get together for coffee sometime. Here's my card, give me a call. Janie is more likely to call me that way than if I call her 3 months later and say, I found your business card and I think we met somewhere, or send her a random email, hey, it was great to meet you. Make it personal, people like it. Okay, so you've now kind of hit the kids, you've hit the church, you've hit the dog daycare centers. If you are going to host an event, or if you already have a practice, there are some really easy, simple, effective ways to get your message out there. This morning I took less than 15 minutes and I typed into Google. What did I type into Google? Hang on a second. Well, first off, I typed into Google whether or not there were any natural health classes running in our area. There were a lot there were a lot of classes, they didn't really relate to natural health, but where those places were listed, I then went, looked up the link, which is simply you click on it, it'll tell you right in the header where that class is listed. Go to that site, list your program, copy someone else's pattern of listing. It will save you a tremendous amount of time. You don't have to spend hours and hours and hours figuring out, oh, is this going to work, is it not going to work? It's a good way to know where to list in your local community and follow their lead. There is nothing wrong with following leads. That's what marketing and advertising is all about. Following, you don't have to recreate the wheel. That's not mandatory in marketing. You get to evolve the wheel to fit and meet your needs. So I followed someone's links and I went and saw everywhere that they were listed. I just clicked on their name, on their link with their community event, and then I did a search within that. You know what? There were places I'd never heard of, and I'm in marketing in Portland. So I learned there are places that we could be marketing and advertising our seminars and our lecture series that I hadn't even heard of. Following this person's lead, I gained 4 new places to list our classes. That was a fairly effective 10-minute, use of my time. And now we're listed in 4 new places, which is a good thing. So once I had found that, I then went in and I thought there has to be more places than 4 that I haven't heard of in Portland. I'm good, but I don't have a lot of time to always be searching for the new things. And I typed in Portland community event listings. I was shocked. There are hundreds and hundreds of places to list. Whether or not you want to pick out a few, do a few a day, obviously this is something you want to plan in advance. You don't want to market and promote what you're doing if it's an event. A few days prior, you want to make sure people have a chance to find you, that it has an opportunity to filter through the web and get to people. Some of these places, they don't put your listing up right away, so you want to give yourself time to kind of work on their schedule. Some of the interesting places that I found that I never would have thought were free were radio stations. Now, obviously, we weren't going to be on the front page of, on the front page of big radio station website, but they do have a community section. A lot of them do, community sections where you can host or list what programs you're offering. Local community newspapers, even if you don't have the funds to advertise in the publication itself, often they will let you publish the event online. They don't look like a very good newspaper if they have no events and nobody using their services. They go out of business. So they want to fill up those event schedules, those calendars of events, to show that they are a well-read, well-used, and trusted guide for people in the community. So use them. Let them be that. It's free, it's effective, and it works. I mean, you get your name out there to people that sometimes you wouldn't normally connect with. From doing the local places to look, I mean, there are some really common ones that I think we've all heard of. One is Craigslist. Craigslist is very hit or miss. It is not necessarily going to make or break you. The problem with Craigslist is people have to search, and if they're not searching for you because they don't know you exist, they won't ever find you. A better way to use Craigslist is to go in and barter and offer your services and ask for everything. I want my house painted. Okay, well,